This is our pre-recorded episode for Thursday. We're doing the 40th day episode of working on the comic. This is recorded because I have a prior engagement. I don't know how long it's going to take, so I wanted to make sure and get some more work done for this show. Just going to be doing some basic inking here. Got this panel up. This is a close-up panel of this character going for his gun to try to save his friend. So it's about 11 o'clock at night here, so forgive me for yawning. I got this one inked, so this was the previous scene. He's sorry about the ceiling fan there. So this is after he's shouted no or whatever, and starting to go for his gun. Yeah, I think just there we go. I'm not looking too hot anyway, so let's take that out for now. So I'll get right into it. So panel 7, I'm going to make a new folder. Add a few layers to it. And this is all going to be on one line art layer since it's all one scene. There's no need to really break things up. I'll just end up with a more detailed layer later. So this is a pretty rough drawing that I've got so far, but I think I got enough information here to get something out of it. So I'll just go ahead and start in on these knuckles. I'll do some simple folds, but I'll do most of the, saying this is a close-up shot, so I'm going to want to have some more details involved. So I think we'll there we go. So we've got this gloved hand coming in. I'll just make this detail layer here. Go ahead and do some of the fun little extras. more shading, a little more, excuse me there, some scratches and full lines on the clothes. Alrighty, so I'm going to drag this other layer into my line art so that I can do some straightaway stuff. This is the polyline tool, and this will lay down wherever you tap. So I've got a hinged door. And then do a double tap, and that closes off the line. Smoothed it out, or narrowed it more actually. And there we go. So now I can go in wherever I need to finish laying down some more lines. And the door goes off the edge of the page, so the opening will as well. Trying to maintain the perspective that I sketched in when I was doing this, so that we're creating basically kind of a, well, it's a box. Alright, so this is the seat right here. And we can have some fun by putting on some tape or some stitches, some patches. Some curved lines with a little bit of rough and tumble pieces here and there. Which, I mean, obviously should be more a detailed layer before I get too crazy with it. Oh, sorry for the yawn. Proof that it is as late as I said it was. And let me get my panel border in there. I think we'll now, there we go. Clean this up a bit. Alright, now I can take these lines out that are overlapping. And we're starting to get a good sense of how this is coming together. Darken that up. And I'll do, when it comes to coloring, we'll do shadows and stuff right there. So then we've got this nice bit of trim around the compartment. Floorboard. When you draw something that has vehicles and stuff, you're going to have to figure out how those vehicles work in order for it to be believable as a drawing, ideally. Trim out the door. Looking pretty good. Then we'll do that pedal now. As long as what you're drawing looks believable, it doesn't necessarily have to be accurate. Just how most cartoons actually work. It's, when you think of a cartoon character like a Bendy or a Cuphead, those are obviously not drawn realistically, but they have proportion and they have, properly measured, balanced features. You could almost imagine a cartoon skeleton and muscles and organs because they're put together in a way that makes sense. And that would be the difference between believability and accuracy. Alright, so I'm going to fill that in with some blacks, and then there'll be a darker gray there, and that should look pretty good as far as our compartment is concerned. And if I go to the detail layer, I can scuff it up even more. Maybe there's some food in the seats and the crevices. It's not clean. It's definitely a used surface. So I think about believability. Let's say you're drawing a character who lives in an apartment. If it looks clean and sterile, it's not going to be believable. But if there's draw clothes on the floor, draw a box of cereal on a counter or something, things that make it look like it's lived in, that'll help sell the scene. And we'll work on this door. Add a little bits more of, maybe there's like a piece of paper in here, like all worn out, stuck to it. It's got some words written on it in some alien language. And something at one time when it was new. Alright, so I'm going to do a layer in between those, and then we'll work on the weapon mounted inside of this. So I kind of designed it here, then kind of brought it out a little bit more here. The scale's different. This is more of a pistol size. This is smaller. I like the way this looks when it's sitting in here. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so that they're a little more closely matched in size. Because this is supposed to be like an emergency pistol. Alright, so I think I'm going to try to do this free-handed as much as possible, but I've got my stabilization set at 100. So that will help me draw much straighter lines. Now the problem I'm starting to have is that, again, you want to stick with your perspective, and that gun is a little bit out of perspective. So I need to fix some things first before I can go into the fun part. So we've got our perspective line here. Basically, box. Yeah, look how much this is off. I was like, that's almost like turning and tilting there. So it was fine here, and then it kind of went off the rails. Well, of course, this is going to extend. I want to extend it out as much as possible so it helps sell the depth of the. Let me try doing some scale things. Make it a little bit bigger. That way, I can make when I make the other one smaller, I won't have to go as drastic. All right. So how is this thing mounted in there? Well, let's see. There's probably some sort of hook mechanism. So we'll add that. And we'll show the trigger in there. So our design's a little bit different. And here's where that part of the gun comes down. Alright, we'll chisel that out a little bit. There we go. So now we've got a little bit better of a perspective on this firearm. Alright, so we got a little bit more design to it than I originally did, so I'll have to make sure that these changes make their way to the next panel. Alright, so we have our simple little blaster in here, and I can go ahead and turn off that and turn off all my other underdrawing. Let me erase these unwanted lines. Cool. So now we have a little tiny blaster hiding under there. And it's in that little compartment. So that looks pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is go to the detail layer now and just go ahead and put in some anonymous little like tech lines or something, just to break up that space. And I can kind of rough it up a little bit more. little bit of wonkiness going on here. There, that fixes that a little better. Cool. All right, good. So this panel is all inked, and we're looking at around about 27 minutes for our episode here. Good enough time as any for us to close things out. And we will continue on our next episode working on the next panel. And we'll fix this gun up and slowly get into our grand finale of this first section, which I can't wait to get to. And we got some more coloring to do as well. So plenty of work left to do on episode 4, and still have this whole second chapter to episode 4, second section of episode 4 that still needs to be sketched out yet. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit up all my social media accounts as they flash up here on the screen. I'll be posting some more new stuff on Patreon, anime sketches, try to update my latest wrestling piece, and of course, some more behind the scenes design Superman stuff as it becomes available. So please check that out. And until next time, thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good day. Bye.